Hello, welcome back to The Top Shelf, my Criterion review series. My name is Ernest Whiteman III. I'm a Northern Arapaho filmmaker, artist, writer, and media educator. And we're taking a look at the top shelf of my video collection where I keep my Criterions. I've been building up my Blu-ray collection of late because I recently got a Blu-ray player after decades of the technology being out, which is why you see mostly DVDs on my top shelf. But I do pick out a lot of resales. You know, I double dip, as the term is, where I have more than one copy. I mean, if you're a slave to physical media, as I am, if you're a completist and a collector, then you have to have multiple copies of the movies you really enjoy. So with that being said, this is not a double dip. This is not a copy or another purchase of another film that I already own. But on today's top shelf is One Night in Miami, directed by the great Regina King. Now, I've always had a fascination with this film when I heard about it. First and foremost, it's directed by Regina King. And it's no coincidence that in the last couple of purchases I purchased two films, or maybe it was a coincidence because I wasn't really looking to that. I was just interested in the films, but I realized that both of the films, this film and Portrait of a Lady on Fire, were done by women directors, which I must admit I do not have enough women directors in my collection, and I'm trying to remedy that because it does offer a unique perspective on a lot of issues and things that impact, you know, all these communities that we talk about. And One Night in Miami is one of those. Besides having a little crush on Regina King ever since, you know, since Beale Street Could Talk, I was interested in her director's eye when I heard that she was actually directing a film. But when I found out what it was about the meeting of these four men in the prominent in the African American community at the time of the 60s, meeting over one night in Miami as the titular film. It was based on Kemp Powers' stage play of the same name, I believe, and this came out in 2020. And what was remarkable to me is like it's a very much a piece that's done a single space is what I think is the term is called in theater, and I think it's same for filmmaking as well. A single space piece where it all happens in this hotel room, and it's just this lovely discussion between these four men. The four men, of course, being Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, and football player Jim Brown. And this is just hours after that Muhammad Ali, I believe, won his first heavyweight title. And of course the roles are played exemplary, whereas Eli Goree is Muhammad Ali, bringing that same charisma that Ali had. Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke in a captivating role. Then there's Aldis Hodge playing Jim Brown, the football player who was gaining fame at the time as a movie star. But to me, though, the one that sort of like stands out was, let me get his name right because I wrote it down. You know what, let's break out the glasses early. This is what happens with passage of time, folks. Kingsley Ben-Adir as Malcolm X. And he stood out because, for me, he played the most humanistic Malcolm X I've seen. I mean, there's the Denzel Washington performance, but there's always this level of homage and reverence that's always given to Malcolm X, and I do not deny that he is worthy of that. But sometimes we have a tendency to sort of like look at our heroes through these not rose-colored glasses, but sort of these lowered perspectives where we look up upon them with awe when we can't, you know, we have to look at our heroes eye to eye to see that, you know, they were indeed, you know, flawed people. I think Spike Lee's and Denzel Washington's depiction of Malcolm X is it's a fantastic portrayal. But this one seemed like a very open and vulnerable and human Malcolm X played by Ben-Adir. and he's just struggling with his position in with the what is it, with Islam at that point, but the movement that was going on at the time of the 60s, and he was starting to find many things wrong with the sector that he was in, and he wanted a way to sort of like buy his way back in to the Brotherhood, and saw Ali as his chance to do so. And so it wasn't a very pure intended Malcolm that we see in this film, but it's the very one that's coming from a place of a fear and human reaction to the situation. So it was a very good performance, the one that always stands out to me as well. Don't worry, Malcolm X by Spike Lee will be reviewing that sooner or later at some point. But now that I got the glasses out, let's take a look at the features. This is from 2020. It's 114 minutes, color 5.1 surround sound, 2:39:1 aspect ratio. You can have the black bars at the top and the bottom. Director approved 4K transfer, of course with the 5.1 master audio track. New conversation between Regina King and filmmaker Casey Lemons, who is another filmmaker that I really want to get some her films in. I forget the name of the feature, but please let me know what her feature is. It's another one that will probably enter my collection at some point. New conversation with Regina King, screenwriter Kemp Powers, and critic Gil Robertson. Conversation between Regina King and filmmaker Barry Jenkins from 2021. An episode of the director's cut, and that's something I'm very much interested in taking a look at. Barry Jenkins has of late become one of my favorite directors with his two feature films that I've seen, Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk. Let me see, a new program featuring Regina King and actors Kingsley Ben-Adir, I just had his name, Eli Goree. Is that what it is? Yeah, Eli Goree, I'm sorry. Aldis Hodge and Leslie Odom Jr. I'm just mispronouncing names left and right. As you can tell, I haven't done this in a while. It takes me a while to sort of work up, what's coming up. New program, making of the film, featuring King, Powers, director of photography, Tammy Riker, editor Tariq Anwar, producer Jody Klein, costume designer Francine Jameson Townchuk, and set decorator Jennison Hitzman. A new program on the film, sound design, featuring sound editor and mixer Andy Hay, sound mixer Paul Ledford, and music producer Nick Brixler, with English subtitles, and the aforementioned, always included essays, this one by critic Gene Seymour. A very good film, a very strong directorial debut by Regina King. I'm always makes me look forward to the next thing she's going to do, next thing she's going to direct. So, One Night in Miami is on the top shelf today. Spine number 1106, and that's gonna be it for today. I have one coming in the mail, so I'll be shooting another one soon. This one is just another favorite. I've talked about it before. It's in my top 10 favorite films of all time. If you can guess it, I don't know if you get a prize or not, but you could probably see it in the back here somewhere. In fact, I'm looking right at it. But I decided to redo my top 10 favorite films in Blu-ray form, and maybe I'll do that as a video if you're interested in that, because the bottom three have changed and shifted in the last couple of years. So, thank you for joining me. Now I'll catch you next time.